Hi there, welcome to Darlene's Creative Studio. It's been a while. I have been steadily going through my stash of stuff. I'm almost at the end of my 100 days of purging. I've cleaned up all my shelves. I've gone through pretty much 80% of every little nook and cranny in my studio. And I ended up with this large stack of extra stuff, and I wasn't quite sure, still not quite sure what to do with it. So I thought I'd make a quick video and just show people some of the stuff that I'm getting rid of. And if anyone is interested in it, please message me. You can get in touch with me through Instagram, through my Etsy shop, my email. It's always underneath the YouTube video. Just contact me and tell me if there's something that you're interested in, because this is a lot of stuff that I'm just putting in a box. And if I don't hear from anyone, I'm just going to donate it to a craft room, a local craft room. But these are some of the things I've just been pulling out of a box and I know I'm not going to use. So I'm starting to slowly go through everything. So I just have this little box over here that I'm going to throw everything in as I go through it. So I'm just going to open it up. I have to make more room. And as I show it to you, I'm just going to toss it in the box. So what I have here, these are some little pouches, and I've made these from that embossed wallpaper. So it's kind of raised and it feels fairly thick. So I have quite a few of these, probably about 15 of those that I'm getting rid of. I have some other embossed wallpaper samples. So there's 5 of those, and then there's 4 of that one, 3 or 4 of that one, and a little embossed envelope. So there's some I'm getting rid of. So that's the wallpaper. And then these were just old vintage book pages that I made into little pockets. And I've used my pinking shears to round off the tops. And there's quite a few of these. Like that's 5 there. So 5, 10, 15, there's probably about 30, 35 there. And these are all things I'm just gonna like toss, get rid of, don't need anymore. Quite a few of these postage stamps, they have shells on them. I think there's just 5 different shells, and they're on pink envelopes, and there's probably about 100 or more in there. I had way too many of those. Some remainders of my small little envelopes that I made out of Atlas book pages and stuff. There's about 10 small little envelopes there. These are something that I received in the Your Creative Studio box. I think it was 2 months ago, and they're like little post-it notes. They're movie theater tickets and movie reviews, post-it notes. I'm never going to use those, so those are going in the stash. I also received these in the Your Creative Studio box, a whole stack of little tiny doilies. There's probably 25 of them there. I don't use doilies in my journals, so there's those. These were Tim Holtz transfers. There's one there, and then this is the other package. Actually, I think there was 3 different packages. But I've kept the packaging because you can cut the words out and use those in your journals as well. But these are transfers. They're like the rub-on kind. I didn't like them. I mean, I love the paper and some of the vintage stuff that's on them, but they just didn't seem to work very well for me, and I don't use a lot of that. So there's 2 of those going in the stash. Some little bags, so I can hold them all. There's some little black and white stripe ones, some zigzag ones. There's probably 10 of each, and then there's 3 of these crafty ones. So little bags, they're going in it. What else do I have? These are just some little pockets that I made. There's 4 there, and then these are journaling cards made out of flower book pages. Those in there. I have the remainder of these cards from, and I forget what it's called. These are all like little journaling cards. It was from a scrapbooking type thing. And then these are folded in half, so these are little booklets. There's quite a few of them there. And then these are the longer ones, so these are the ones you would fold in half. So that's the small ones and the folded ones, and that's the size of the folded ones. There's probably 100 there. And then these are just some extra book pages. So these are vintage wine labels from a book that you were supposed to collect the wine labels and put them in. I tea stained them all, so there's a whole bunch of old wine labels. That was from that Your Creative Studio movie pack about 2 months ago. These are stickers. I'll never use those. Some botanical pictures. Here's a whole bunch more botanicals that I've already cut out. Again, I don't use the botanical shiny paper that much. These are from a smaller book of botanicals. These are all single pages. Quite a few of them there. There is about 8 of these envelopes that I've made up. They're not glued, so you can decorate them and distress them and make them into some nice envelopes. And then this is that bird book that I just recently made into a journal, and these are all the bird book pages left over. Again, just trying to clean out my stash. I haven't actually gone through all of my book pages. That's the last shelf to go through, but there's all of those going in. Okay, don't fall off. I have this little stack of 6-inch, I think they're 6-inch by 6-inch origami papers. There's quite a few of them there. I won't even guess how many. Probably 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, maybe 80 of them. I won't be using those. A gazillion. A bazillion tags. These are from my tag punch. These are Edith Holden pages, and I've also got some what I call itty bitty pieces that I've punched from little bits and pieces of her books. So there's some squares and some of the scallop circles, and then there's a whole bunch of different size tags. So there's larger tags and smaller tags. That's all the Edith Holden tags. They're going in there. And then, so this is a tag punch that I have, and I've cut I just, whenever I get scrap paper, I cut a whole bunch and I put them in a box, and I have way too many of them. So this stack right here, there's 80 in this lovely mint green or mint blue color. So that's 80 tags right there. So I have some in greens and some ivory. I have some in red. So that's probably over 100 right there. Oops. And then this is over 100. They're in stacks of 10, so there's a whole bunch of like travel looking ones there. There's some brightly pastel colored ones, so there's about 40 in that pastel color. And then there's a whole bunch of pinks. This is 100, and it's got a whole bunch of different pink shades. So there's 100 of those in the pinks. I've got some just plain navies that you can put something on, a little picture on the front there to kind of frame it. I have a whole bunch of miscellaneous cardstock. So again, that's probably close to 100 there. Roses, a day planner that had roses in it. And then these are just the striped pages of the planner. These are from a family history book, and these are faded images of very vintage photos. So I snapped some tags out of those. And then these are just another book that I had that was about history. So there's those. These are some textured from those Tim Horton mug holders. There's probably about 40 there. I have this. These are tags that I just cut and then use my scissors to cut the edges. But these are from a pattern sample book. This was the paper that was in between the pattern samples. And then this is some more cardstock. And these are all white on the back. So there's that kind. This was a little tag book that I had. These are left over. And then this was my 3-tier tag punch. This is the 2.5-inch wide. And then there's probably about 100 there of all the different shapes and sizes of those tags. So there's probably about 1,000 tags in this. These are from your creative studio. They give you some little pre-cut tags and some bigger ones. Somebody sent me these in a swap. Here's a bunch of little tiny ones, tea-stained and pink and roses. More of the, get rid of the hair, the tags there. Some white ones, some of the little tiny ones. The little tiny, this size. There's some more in there, and some of the medium-sized one, which are botanicals. So let me just open this up. So there's white. That's the green paper. These are some smaller ones. And then these are some botanical tags. These are just all my loose ones that didn't really go with anything. So there's probably over 1,000 tags right there. I would say more than that, but anyway, there's 1,000 tags there. I have these cards I used in my travel journals. There are 2 different ships. These are what's left of the 2 decks of cards, so I would throw those in. These were some of those vintage magazine covers. It was a book that I found, and it had about 1,000 different book covers in it, and it was just different magazines. Gay Parisian and Snappy, and I just made them into like little cards. So there's a couple of them here. Cosmopolitan, Sunday Magazine. There's probably about a dozen of these. Good Housekeeping, and again, they're just black cardstock. I made little booklets out of them. So there's those going in, and then there's a whole bunch of family photos that I just punched to some frames and put around some of the family photos. There's weddings and very vintage from the 40s and 50s. And then these 2 I made during one of my journal challenges. The little fellers are cute. One's got a broken leg, and one little guy's picking his nose. It's kind of cute. And then I made them into journaling cards. So there's all those that I'm getting rid of. This bag is a mishmash of all my different die cuts. Some napkins, some more of those bags. Napkins, here, I'll split some out. Some more little envelopes, some more die cuts, some tags that I've made. Leftover little tags that I've made, a whole bunch of little hearts cut out, and then some die cut shapes, whatever I had left over in my stash, and then some little cutouts from some book pages. That's that one, and some more little labels and stuff. So more die cut shapes and stuff. And then these are all pieces from either Tim Holtz packages or cutting out of scrapbooking paper, that type of thing. These are all pre-stamped stuff. So these are some cards, Tim Holtz cards, some other tags, some of his photo cards. These are all Tim Holtz, I believe. And there's a few in here that are scrapbooking. So there's those. And then these are just smaller ones of this. And again, they're from scrapbooking paper pads or something that I've printed out, like these little cards. Some little vintage cards. There's tons of little tiny ones in there. And then little shapes and stuff from scrapbooking. There's some washi stickers in there with little angels and cherubs on them. They're really, really small, so I don't want to take everything out. But these are all things that I've just pulled out knowing that I will not use. They've just been sitting in a box or on my shelf, and this is the time to get rid of them. So this is quite a stash of stuff that I've just been, as I know I'm not going to use it, I just stick it in a bag and put it all together in my stash of getting rid of. So that's just the portion of some of the stuff that I'm going to be getting rid of. If somebody's interested in the whole kit and caboodle, please make me an offer. I'd be happy to send it to you. You pay for the postage and just make me an offer on the whole bulk of it. But I'm still going through all my books and book pages, so that'll be the last thing that I'm going through. My next video, I'm going to be showing you all the journals that I've been making over the last probably 4 weeks, now that we're in lockdown again here in Canada, in Ontario. It's been pretty quiet, so I've just been cleaning, going through files, throwing away stuff that I've had for a long time, old painting patterns and all that kind of stuff. So this is just one of the piles of little things. I have a whole stash of little tiny swatches of fabric, little cutout fabrics that I like to put in a bag and see if somebody would like. But that's it so far. I haven't really had a chance to do any tutorials because my desk has been covered with all of this stuff. As I sort, I just make a pile. So once my desktop is, all this is put into a box and it's shipped off and gone, then I will be getting back to making my tutorials. So thank you so much for watching, and please get in contact with me if you're interested in any of the items that I've shown. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.